Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is Stock Trade Ideas. Today is Sunday, September 28, 2014, so this is for the week of September 29th. First of all, we're going to review 4 trade ideas that we got out of last week on 3D, First Solar, Apache, and Facebook. One that I'm currently in, Best Buy, and another one I'm looking at, which is Canadian Solar. So those are the ones we're going to look at today. All right, we're going to start off here with 3D Systems. We were in this prior to last week, and then we got, let's see, actually, yes, because we got in on this day, the break of this 2-day low in here when we got the moving averages crossing down, and actually we got out of half the position at a specific target price. And then I basically set the second half at break even on the option price. And on this little rally, we kind of got whipped a little bit. They dropped the bid on it significantly, and therefore our stop got hit on that. And it's a little frustrating. Would have liked to have seen this move a little bit more before we get a little rally so that we can stay in and get more premium into the option. But it's what happened, got us back out. So what is this? This is Monday on the 22nd. So really for the next 4 days, this has done nothing but gone sideways, given the volatility that the market had. So anyway, that was the play on 3D Systems. I didn't choose to get back in on a break of this low after the pullback to the 10. I'm not sure what this is doing. It's especially when I didn't get a lot more follow through on this play in here. So I decided to just, sit on my hands on this one. So that was the one we exited on 3D Systems. And so we did have a small profit on that. For solar, we got in, I think on this day, probably a little premature, probably should have waited and got in on this day. Just as a caution to everyone, from now on signals, whenever you have a bar that's like this bar right here, this is what I call a WR bar. Got this term from Linda Ratchke's material, and WR bar, a wide-ranging bar. Okay, so this is like a WR7, and this is the widest ranging bar of the last 7 days. And whenever I see that, a lot of times, I hesitate because you're going to get, I'm concerned, am I going to get follow through or not? And look, for example, here, you came down a little bit more, we entered, and then it reversed and pulls back up. Look at this WR bar here, and then no follow through. Okay, now here there was, but this was a huge reversal bar. Okay, that's a different type of animal to a certain degree. Look at this big WR7 bar, and then really it just goes sideways for 6-7 days, and really didn't go much lower than the low of that day. Would you get 1 close below that, maybe 2 for a couple of weeks or more? So anyway, just a little commentary on WR7 bars. So I need to, I start paying attention to those. So anyway, we got in on this day here. We stayed in, we're through this, and then we're in here, and it got very close to our initial target. So it never hit it. And then on this day, on Tuesday, when the market was having its second down day in a row, we were getting no follow through. And I just said, okay, after 2 hours in the morning, no follow through on negative market, I'm out. I don't like the fact that I'm not getting follow through. And so all this has done is gone sideways for 4 days. So I'm not sure what this is going to do. I mean, I could see how if you took a break of the low of the last 3 days in here, the 3-day low or 4-day low, that, it might continue plunging on down. I just don't trust it right now. So I'm, sitting on the sidelines on First Solar. Apache. Let's see. Apache is where we tried this little turnaround, turtle soup plus 1, and it just didn't go. Okay, here was the point. Here was the pivot point. Okay, 20-day low. Came down, got the break of that 20-day low the next day. We rallied up, started trading above that pivot point, and we entered, had a tight stop down below this in here, and got stopped out on this day when it was started swinging around. And what day was that? That was Wednesday, okay, when the market rallied back, and Apache had gone lower and then rallied back, and then Thursday was this deep day down in here. So anyway, we got stopped out on this play. I'm going to hesitate to do these kind of play. You have to have almost a perfect setup, and we really didn't have the solid divergences on this play that we should have had. I mean, a picture perfect play of this is it's a Rax, I think it is, and I don't have it pulled up right now, but we did that in August, but it also had nice divergence tied into it, and I think in the future that's what you really need to do that play. All right, the next one is Facebook. Facebook, let's see, 923. We got in on calls, and this was Wednesday. No, this is Tuesday. Okay, so the market, here's Monday. Facebook didn't sell off that much, and then it went a little bit lower Tuesday morning, and then it rallies back up, and I saw it starting to rally, and I really thought it was going to do this maneuver over here. Okay, this little kind of like a cup and a handle type thing, and up thrust. And so when I see this and I saw this action here, I really thought it was going to explode. But on Wednesday was the day that the Dow rallied like 154 points on a snapback rally, okay? And Facebook did nothing. And so I was really then skeptical as to what the heck was happening. And then I thought, well, I'll sit with this. And then in the next morning, the Dow just started falling right out of the chute. And after the first 15 minutes, I said, I'm out of here. I don't like it. I'm not going to sit there and just, demand that I have to be right on this position when the market's sitting there plunging, like off a cliff. So I got out of the position, and I think I had a very small profit on it. I consider to have scratched the trade. And then it bounced back on Friday, but so what? I mean, I'll wait and see if something else develops on Facebook. Another one I got in on Friday morning, was on Best Buy. Now, actually could have got in on Thursday, because we got a couple closes below the 10 here and a break of this 2-day low right here. You could have got in on Thursday, and then it allowed me to get in at basically the same entry point or even better on Friday, so I took it. And then even though the market, I mean, what did the market do on Friday? Up 167 points. I can't remember. I don't have it right off my tip of my tongue, but huge rally on Friday. And look what Best Buy did. I mean, it closes down. So, and it closed the low 32.92.5. So it literally closed a penny and a half off its low. So pretty negative action. We'll see if we continue to get follow through. And the scenario that I'm seeing in here is I think we have a counter trend type of diagonal wedge type formation that's happened on this. And it's pulled back and closed this gap. You can see if I put the crosshairs on, put the line up there, it literally closed that gap almost to the penny within a few cents. And so now the fact that we're getting this what looks like rolling over action closing below the 10, I think we could get a move to the downside, and that's what I'm looking for. All right, so the only one that I've got that I'm looking at for tomorrow is Canadian Solar. I think, at first I thought maybe it had corrected enough, come pulling back right in here like this, and that we were getting a wave 1, 2, 3. I just don't like the looks of this. This looks like a 3-wave, not a 5-wave initial thrust. Okay, so if it's a 3-wave, that means we still have corrective action going on, and so I'm thinking we have some kind of X move in here, a connecting, and that we're going to still continue to correct. And right now we're getting these closes down below the 10, and it looks like this thing is trying to round over. We are getting divergences. Okay, RSI is diverging. It's not closed below the 50 yet, but it is diverging. The DI plus is diverging on this move in here. And the minus has refused to continue weakening. Okay. And the demand index is also showing divergences in here. So I am looking for this thing with these two closes in a row, consecutive closes below the 10. I'm looking for, say, a break of the 2-day low in here to buy puts to get short. So I'll put further details on that on the Trade Ideas webpage, but that's what I'm thinking about Canadian Solar. We'll see if we get a play on it. Yeah, and part of it's because of the the action I'm seeing in here, the way it looks. So anyway, that's it for today. We will be back tomorrow night with a look at the market action after the first day, Monday, and we'll see where we're at with some things. And I know we've got probably have an update on 3 other stocks that I'm trying to rotate through on a daily, weekly basis. So, all right, this has been Joe from Beyond the Chart. If you felt like the video was helpful, please share it on social media. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Just first name and email in the little red box here, and you'll be good to go. You can download the PDF I've got for you, and then you'll have access to the Trade Ideas webpage and get notifications of when I put out new posts and that type of thing. So, all right. Everyone have a great rest of the weekend and a great Monday.